She Shatters this time last year, and I can't believe how far the journey has taken me in just 1 year. But last year, due to the stressors of working in healthcare during the pandemic, my body broke down. I had an incredible 20-year career. I loved my team, but inside I was completely burned out and depleted. I had nothing left. So 2 months later, I wound up in the emergency room. And at that point, I had to make the decision to resign in order to take care of myself and truly save myself from myself. I realized that I could not go back to my career and my old patterns as a workaholic before. So I began to explore what my options were, and after talking with hundreds, and I kid you not, hundreds of people, I found that we were all in the same boat, and they were burned out, and they craved support, guidance, and tools that they could use to prevent their burnout and to restore themselves and their boundaries. So I took a big leap of faith, and I built a company that we were really all yearning for and that the community needed.
Hannah, good morning. It's such a pleasure to see you. How are you thinking about this idea of managing workplace wellness with equity?
Well, good morning, Nicole, and thank you so much for inviting us to be a panelist today. I am so excited to speak about this topic and super energized to speak about this topic. Really, it's around balancing kind of that personal, professional obligation and avoiding conflict and instead creating a symbiotic relationship. So I'm all about creating win-wins in the team, right? So having the team start a Monday or start a Friday morning meeting with, how did you feel that work-life integration went for you this week? With the goal of being a synergetic team. So we know that some people at work have kids, some people don't. Some people have new puppies or pets, those pandemic puppies, but really it's around what does work-life integration mean for each individual purpose, and designing it and defining it as a team, and talking about how people are in the morning or how people are in the afternoon. Are they more productive? When do they need their rest periods? And coming together as a team collectively and creating a team plan so everybody knows that Grant's better in the morning, Michelle struggles maybe in the mid-afternoon, she gets the slumps, she needs a coffee. Really, it's around integrating that team perspective and creating synergy. Tactically across an organization and creating that synergy, you need to bring all of those departments together for a shared vision. And I think we need to change that work-life balance to work-life integration, which means you need to change the mindset of the overall organization. Then the policies need to follow along vision. And then, and only then, can synergy occur and policies and workflows can follow.
Good. Well, thank you for joining us and being our speaker at the Wisetail Wellbeing at Work Beating Burnout webinar. I am so excited to have this conversation. We prepped for this, and every time I speak to you, I learn something new and think of things in a slightly different way. So I'm really excited to have that shared with the rest of our group here.
The answer is yes. The numbers and impact of burnout are absolutely staggering since the pandemic. 90% of employers have reported that COVID-19 has affected the behavioral health and productivity of their workforce. 7, to keep employees, HR, and leadership firm and appropriate and thoughtful about seeing sustained burnout prevention results at work, right? We need to all be on the same line and all align with the organizational message. And here are some strategies that we found were helpful in reducing burnout, decreasing anxiety, and improving engagement in employees. So your organization needs to offer a sense of belonging, right? It is no longer cool just to go into a conference room and share it, put up your mission statement and say, this is our mission, right? The goal needs to make the work feel meaningful. And if you are ready for a big, bold move as an organization, here's a change that you can do that creates a win-win for all, right? Why is this talk different from other burnout talks, right? We really want to look ahead to the future of work, right? How you as an employee and your organization can stay well amidst all of our changing landscape, right? We don't know when this pandemic's going to be over. We thought it was over. It's back. Who knows? So here are some things that you guys can actually walk out of from an action item step today. Share with you some quick tips on how to lead when you're depleted as a leader. But the big question is, as a leader, how can you find the mental strength to lead through the marathon that is ongoing COVID? Here are 6 steps that I've created that you can take to revive yourself and your team for the leadership road ahead. Really, think through who can you count on to hold you accountable with the goal that you just established. We all have that one person in our lives that calls us on our stuff when we're not following through. So who's that trusted source for you? And then who can you problem solve with? I always have a couple go-to people for me that are like problem solvers and fixers, people that always seem to have really great answers or exploratory ways of doing things. And then who can you celebrate with? Kind of going back to Jamie, who's the person that you want to celebrate with the most? And what exactly do you want to do to celebrate?
No.
Because that's where the growth happens, and that's where the love happens, and that's where the secret sauce per se happens. So I think if you really want to turn someone on or turn their light on or ignite them from inside, intimacy is the key.
Yeah, we have to reveal ourselves in order to experience intimacy. We need to be with other people and be curious about them and reveal things about ourselves. We have to let our inner worlds be accessible to other people.
Journeys.
Well, I think stretching yourself, I think what you're describing too is having the willingness to be honest, give yourself that vulnerability, create a space, because I think that's what Trail does, and that's what She Shudders tries to do too, is creating that space. But then if you're modeling that again, just with the two of you as founders, and then basically it's just effortless to your team and then to the actual entire platform. Kudos to you guys. That's amazing. I wasn't planning on asking about you and Rebecca, but in my experiences with you thus far, I can feel it and I can see it. And just from another female entrepreneur from afar, you guys are killing it. It's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
And so I feel like that's what I feel that's the bright shining star from my experience with this pandemic so far.
Yeah, I love that answer. I've interviewed hundreds of people, since I started my journey last year, and it's consistently the fact that people have learned to stop, pause, reassess, slow down, reimagine their lives. Am I doing the right work?